what leads us home. When you breathe in and breathe out, you're connected to something really, really big, beautiful, and intelligent. And that's the power within each and every one of us. You know, I have a quote. It says, the feeling of stillness is peace. The feeling of peace is joy. And joy is our true nature. Joy is what we are. You know, sometimes we don't feel that because we got so much stuff going on in our head. But our true nature is this power, this incredible beauty of joy that runs through each and every one of us. And that's who we really are. And it's only when we're quiet enough to know that it's there and carry it with us out into the world that we can move with it, that we can feel it. So my favorite time of day, I think, is in the mornings, really early in the mornings, when I get up really early, when I don't stay up too late. and I get up really early in the morning and look out of my glass doors, and I've got like this yard that's got all these, my daughter puts these bird feeders all over the place, and so I've got birds all over it, hummingbirds, and then regular sparrows and all sorts of birds, and I've got these red-tailed hawks that I see flying, you know, above, and then the little Chihuahua dogs, they're always yipping and yapping, and they're playing out there, so there's all of this activity going on out there. But there's a stillness to it, even though you see all this activity. And there's this one bird, I was thinking about this yesterday when I got up, and this one bird stays on this big banana palm leaf that we have. It's really big, and he sits on it. And the wind will blow, and he just kind of goes like this, and then he comes down and he plays a little bit, and he comes home. He comes home. That's my point here, is that I think that's what it means to go to center. You know, it's like you can see everything around you. You get in the activity. He plays with the other birds, and he, you know, he's always there. But he comes back probably, you know, every 10 minutes or something. There he is, back at his home. And that's what the call is for us, is to be able to find our center, and be able to nourish ourselves from this incredible center, this God self that we are, and be able then to take it out into the world, to stay centered and to take it out into the world, because that is our true home. You know, the stillness, because in the stillness isn't just still. You think it is, it's space, but there is intelligence and joy and love in the stillness. And I don't think that we really believe that, because we have too much going on in our heads all the time. It's about resting in God. The Course in Miracles calls it resting in God. There's a whole section on that. It's where you just breathe, and when you close your eyes, you are resting. Doesn't that sound good sometimes, when all of the stuff of the world happens and you can just sit back and rest in God? Well, God, part of God is us. We're resting in the higher part of us. We're breathing in and we are resting in God, where our true nature resides. See, it's a whole different energy being inside of us, right? It's a higher vibration. It's a peace. It's a joy when we are quiet enough to feel it. But we have to come out to the world where the vibration's a little bit lower. You know, where there's what the Buddhists call 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows. You know, that's what happens when we move out into this world. And peace leaves us when the thoughts and all of the world starts. See, and it's these challenges then that kind of rob us of the peace that we were meant to have, we were meant to be. It's still there. You know, do you understand? It's always there. It's just covered by our thoughts and by the stuff of the world. It's pretty easy for this lower nature, the ego, the lower nature, whatever you want to call it, to take over and to start to run our lives. And we know when it's happening when we aren't at peace with the present moment. We had a class in Eckhart Tolle, and I love the last class we had when he talked about what ego was, and I never thought about ego being this, but he says that, Eckhart Tolle says, that anytime we aren't at peace with the present moment, that's ego. Anytime that we're out of peace with the moment, there comes that lower nature, there comes that energy of the ego. So think of how much of your life that you're in that, when you aren't at peace with what's happening in your life. When you are completely surrendered. When our peace is gone, our ego is in control. And that's when we have to take a breath, stop, look, listen, take a breath, and rest in God. Rest in our peace. Michael Brown, who wrote The Presence Process, great teacher, he says that the more automated that our experience is, the less involved we are in the art of living. That we forget to really live deeply when we are so automated. Have you ever driven to someplace and you got there, but you don't even remember driving? That's what he's talking about. You're on automatic pilot. You go through your life on automatic pilot. And he says, be where your body is. You know, it sounds easy. Not. Be where your body is. He says, we have forgotten how to have a meaningful today. You know, we're thinking about having a great tomorrow. What am I going to do tomorrow? Day off. No, I guess it isn't. But you know what I'm saying? You're thinking about, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You're thinking about what you did in the past. But he's saying a meaningful moment, because your life happens in the moment. Presence is in the moment. Love is in the moment. God is in the moment. It's not out there in the future, and it's not out there in the past. It's only in the moment. And we've forgotten how to live that way. We have forgotten how to live meaningfully. When I say living meaningfully, I mean being present with every moment of our life, whether it happens to be, if we judge it as bad or not. We need to be with it, accept it, and be present with it. Participate in the moment. We forgot where we came from. Always the present moment. We've always been and always will be. We're eternal. We're love. We're beauty and wisdom. And it's all in that present moment. And we forgot. You know, the other day I smelled a flower, and I was thinking about this, and it reminded me of something. Have you ever done that? And you don't know where, right? It's just like this smell. And it was like, wow, I remember something. Because see, life is feeling. It's about this feeling. And that's how it must be. I think we have this yearning, all of us, this yearning to be with God. When I say God, I mean with our higher nature, to be connected. We have a yearning, and we have a yearning to be whole, to know our wholeness. We are whole, but we forget it. And so we yearn for it, and we search for it out there in everything else. And we're already whole. So how do we find our center, and how do we live from that center? And the truth is, we don't add anything to us. We take away. We take away the thoughts and the chatter of our lives. We relax, like we did this morning. We relaxed into that moment. It's about meditating. It is about meditating too. It's about stopping all of the physical movements for a while and just letting that spirit run through you, letting that divine energy. It's about being conscious of being conscious, right? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to be conscious now, and I'm going to know myself. We don't know who we are. And I think this is going to be the crux of what I'm trying to tell you, is that we don't understand who we are. We think we are the thoughts in our heads. We think that we are this surface energy, when inside we are the stillness. And when we are quiet enough, we find out our true identity. And that's what meditation, that's what the quietness is about, so that we can get to know ourselves. It's about turning our intention inside and focusing on who we really are. Focusing on what it feels like to be you. And sometimes it doesn't feel really good, let me tell you. You can sit in meditation and everything comes up. And that's all of the surface stuff that comes. And it doesn't feel real good to be you, but when you do it long enough and you let that stuff go, it feels really good to be you. Because you found the real you. Does that make sense? You found the truth of who you are. It's about getting to know your truth. Every one of us, if we knew our truth, we would fly. We would love beyond measure. We would be incredibly connected and touched. When you're able to relax and quietly suspend all of your firmly held false ideas and limited beliefs about who you are, guess what remains? Only God. Only you. That's what remains. It's like polishing a mirror. This is what the Sufis call it, polishing a mirror. It's being able to see yourself clearly for the first time when you have finally sat down and been quiet enough. Polish your mirror, let go of your thoughts. Letting go of everything that you think you are, you find out what a gift you are. What a gift you are. It's huge if we could really do it. You find out a new experience of who you are. When you let go of everything you think you are, you find out who Holly is, really, who Terry is. You find out when it's all done. And then you create differently. See, you create your life differently because we're creative beings. We talked about that a few weeks ago. We're creative beings. And when we let go of all of the surface stuff and all the things that are going on, we create at the level of God. We create at the highest level possible. So it's about defining a whole new way of who we are. This deep peace. It's a fundamental transformation of who we are as we go into the quiet. And when we do, and when we get it, who we are, nothing will ever be the same. I promise you that, nothing. The things that seem to matter now won't. Does it mean nothing happens? Of course not. Stuff happens all the time. We live in a world. But your attitude changes. The way that you deal with it changes. We matter. I'm going to read you a paragraph. Every thought, feeling, and emotion, as well as every aspect of your behavior, is predicated on the way that you feel about yourself. The way you feel about yourself determines how you think, what you do, and how you interact with the world. So can you imagine if you were centered enough to be still, to go inside and know the truth of who you are? And you knew your magnificence and knew how great and powerful that you were, and the beauty and the love that you carried with you, how would your life change? How would your family's life change? How would your friends' life change because of you? Because you would walk in this presence. And that's what we're talking about. See, we want to stay here too, right? I could do that forever. I could just sit and meditate and feel the energy within me, but we got to come out, right? We have to come out. We live in a world, so we have to come out into the world. We have to live our daily life, and that's what the Bible calls praying without ceasing, right? We're connected. See, we go in, we meditate to be connected, and then we come out and stay connected. You don't just leave it and live your life and come to Sunday and meditate for once a week for 2 minutes. It's about getting a practice of meditation, and then it's about staying connected out in the world. Staying connected. How is it possible? How is stillness possible when we're moving at full speed? And I find out that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes in my busiest moments, I'm more connected than I ever have been in my life. Does that happen with you? When you are so connected with Spirit and you're doing the things that you love, that you're so connected. That's what we're talking about. It's the times when I'm idle that I'm not connected. Imagine a spinning top. I put a top up there. It's a spinning top. Okay, this helped me kind of think about this. That it appears motionless as it's spinning, right? Really to the highest spin. So it appears this way not because it's moving, but it appears at full speed because it's not the absence of energy that makes us still. It's not the absence of movement. It's unconflicted movement. It's unconflicted movement, life in harmony, skill in action. And it can be experienced when your life is buzzing and busy and there's things to do and you're connected. It means that you're wholehearted. It means that you're wholehearted. So let me kind of explain that. I was thinking about that this morning as I was trying to make sense of what I'm saying. Okay? I think this way, right? I get up in the morning and I start to think these things. And then I go, okay, now, I need an example of what this means. So I'm thinking about this morning, okay? So I'm really connected, okay? And I'm getting what I'm saying. And I'm really, sometimes I don't get what I say, okay? So, but I'm getting it and I'm connected and I feel like the energy flowing through me and I'm really connected, okay? And then something happens. Somebody stands up and goes, I don't like this. I don't like that lighting. I don't like this. All of a sudden, now, when I stay connected, I'm still spinning, right? And if I stay connected, I'm still spinning at this high vibrational level. I'm still spinning, and I stay very present, I participate in the moment, and I say to the person whatever I say. It doesn't matter, but I stay nice, right? I stay nice and I stay connected. Now, if I get thrown off center, it's like someone stops my top, right? So you put a finger in the top, and the top just wobbles like that. Here's what I think about us. I think sometimes that our top stops wobbling, right? It stops spinning and it starts to wobble, right? Our top stops. And then we get out of character and out of who we really are. That's what happens to us when we are trying to be centered and try to be with this energy that I'm talking about, our tops get out of control. So that's what you need to think about next time you're really centered and you're going for it, and then all of a sudden something happens. Somebody says something mean to you, or you're thinking about something. Just remember that your top is out of control. You stopped your top. So we have to participate in the moment. You know, that's what it's being present with every single moment of your life. Being present. Even when you don't think that you like something, you need to be present with it, accept it, let it go. You can do something. Doesn't mean to just let life do stuff to you. You're not a victim. You do things, but you do it in an accepted, surrendered way. You do it through action. You do it through your action. When you're wholehearted, you know, that's what I'm talking about, being present, being wholehearted, being with life, loving life, living it deeply. And you can only do that when you're connected. You can't do it when you're not connected to something bigger than you, you know? And when you do, wow, we have a sense of aliveness, we have an enthusiasm, we have a joy, we have a beauty for life. Every quality of God we live when we're connected. And that's the call, is to take that power that you have when you meditate, find out who you are. That's the call here. Find out who you are through the silence. Get connected. Feel it. And then take it out and live your life that way. Live your life connected to the power that is so much bigger to us. So much bigger than you could ever imagine. Because there is so much power in the quiet. There is so much joy in the quiet. And that's my prayer for all of us, is that we get centered, we love, and we take it out and show our love. Thank you.